taking on the Ducks in Anaheim at 7 o'clock.
Now back to Cofield and Company, live from the front yard inside Ellis Island on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
So let's build on some of the stuff we were talking about with Deion Sanders back in the Steve Kim conversation about 30 minutes ago. Willie, Cofield, Ellis Island, Rams, Dolphins, get on down here. We got some UNLV football tickets to give away, some UNLV basketball as well. All you can eat and all you can drink beer specials that they offer during the games. We got a pair of two tops to give away for future Sunday, Thursday, Monday viewing. So get on down. That's a great prize worth in excess of $150 a piece. So Mike McCarthy, it's a mess in Dallas. We're very Dallas heavy just because there's been so much chatter with the Dallas players. CeeDee Lamb complaining that he couldn't see the ball late in the game because of the sun. Jerry Jones saying, what do you want me to do? Tear down the stadium. Micah Parsons talking about Mike McCarthy can go wherever he wants. But I feel bad for the players who have been here, have put a lot of time in. So it's a mess. Trey Lance got in the game. Jerry Jones was asking to see Trey Lance. Does Mike McCarthy just acquiesce, even if Trey Lance isn't the best guy for the Cowboys at quarterback, if he still believes it's Cooper Rush? Just go, screw it. This is what the owner wants. Let's throw Trey Lance out there. Maybe he throws 5 interceptions. And in the back of my mind, if I were McCarthy, I'd be like, I just want to get the hell out of here. So just fire me. I get my money. And you can, whatever interim you want to put in, play Trey Lance. What does he do? Just play him?
That last part. If Jerry Jones is pressing him and he knows that if he puts Trey Lance in and whatever it's going to result in, then yeah, I think you do it. And because it's not on him. It's kind of like one of those coaches that says, hey, if I tell you to go out there and do something, play a certain way, it's on me. Just go do what I say. And if it doesn't work, I take the hits. It's on me. It's not on you. Just do your best and execute. So at that point, if he's telling him that's what I want to see, then do it. Because and if you kind of feel that the door is opening and you're on your way out of it, guess what? At some point, that post-game press conference or when he's doing his exit interview at some point down the road or doing an interview for the next job, I was just doing what I was told. It's not a slam. He's not lying. What are you supposed to do? He's telling the truth. Do it with dignity. Don't slam Jerry Jones, but at the same time go, hey, this is a situation we were in. I think we know that at that point we were looking toward next season. I know there's a lot of people that are saying just put – I was listening this morning to the guys early. Chris Canty was like, do a soft tank, throw Trey Lance in, and draft Shedeur Sanders. And then if Deion's up for it. But I completely think it's a bad idea. I don't think it's a bad idea because I don't believe that Deion Sanders can't coach. I just think it's a bad idea to bring the two of them into. You see what we're seeing at Colorado.
What are we seeing?
A lot of distractions. Now they're winning, but it's college. You're talking about the NFL. You cannot have those types of distractions where they're all of a sudden they're the stars. It's not going to be the same way coming into the NFL.
I thought what happened over the weekend, let me say it better. What happened over the weekend with Shedeur and a ball boy is exactly why I made the prediction a while ago that Shedeur will not be a top 10 pick. And in fact, I actually have to bet with someone that he won't even be a first-round pick. That's looking a little shaky right now, my prediction that he'd fall out of the first. But give me your take on what you saw in the Colorado game with a Texas Tech ball boy.
What I saw was that the Texas Tech ball boy probably shouldn't have swiped the way that he did, but nevertheless, he was doing his job to get the ball back. And Shedeur Sanders, actually not Shedeur Sanders, because
so Shiloh.
No, it wasn't Shiloh.
Shiloh had the ball.
No.
The ball got yes, he did. Shiloh had the ball.
I understand that.
The ball boy knocked it out of Shiloh's hands, and then what?
It was not his. No, I thought it was Shedeur he knocked it out of. What I was going to say, whoever it wasn't that person. Deion Sanders Jr., who walks around with them like a bodyguard even during the game, got in his face and started MFing him, and then Shedeur turned around and confronted the guy, is what I saw. Shedeur turned around and said something, but I thought I saw more aggressiveness from Deion Jr. Nevertheless, the kid was trying to do his job. He probably shouldn't have swiped at it the way that he did. It was a little aggressive. You're just knocking it out of his hand. It was after a big play. That's probably not the best way, but they should have known better. And you cannot throw who you think you are around, because that's what it was. If that was an offensive lineman and he needed the ball, is that offensive lineman going to turn around and do that? Was I wrong?
I just wanted you to take a look at it. Griffin, did you see the play?
Checked out the video after I saw it was going to be a topic today.
Well, you're right. You're right. I apologize.
So it's Shiloh with the ball first.
Shiloh with the ball.
I don't agree with you. The ball boy went up and was aggressive and was being a little punk, a little jerk. Yeah. But as he moves along the sidelines, then Shador comes over, gives him a push, and then that's when Bucky, Deion Jr., all 5'5" of them, starts like screaming at him. And my thought, again, this goes back to my worries about him in terms of NFL franchises and the way they skewer and rake quarterback prospects over the coals. They're going to see stuff like this and go, what was going on here? And frankly, if I'm one of the opponents the rest of the way, I'm sending a ball boy. I'm sending someone at Shador Sanders, especially if Bucky's around, and trying to bust horns early in the game or in pregame and get him tossed.
So Deion Jr.
Like, bro, you're going to be a CEO of a franchise. You're ready to fight a freaking ball boy for Texas Tech?
Junior's the one that shoved him, not Shador. Shador stepped up and kind of leaned forward, and the ball boy kind of ran into his shoulder, it looks like. But Shador did say that you're right. Shiloh had the ball. It was after he did Deion's dance.
So stupid.
He did knock the ball out a way he probably shouldn't have. He could have just kind of said, "Hey, Shiloh," and Shiloh wanted to keep it for whatever personal reasons, and that's fine. Shador gets in his face, but Deion Jr. comes up and he's MFing him and shoving him, which he should be called out for.
Out of control.
Out of control.
Because
if that was somebody else, first of all, you can't put your hands on somebody because that's right there. It's considered assault. Number one. Number two, you're representing the university. So,
is this the first time dealing with a ball boy or a water boy? A little sneak peek into the world of sports. Those little kids or those people handling the ball in the water, they can be some D-heads sometimes. Yeah. They're not always pleasant.
I mean, the point is your Shador Sanders possible top 10 pick in the NFL draft. And I understand it's emotional. And believe me, we'll get into UNLV. UNLV, I thought the sideline got a little emotional because there was a Hawaii fan. The Hawaii Stadium is a converted track facility, right? So they've got the track in front of the home stands, Willie, and they've also got food trucks down in the end zone. So fans can walk out of the stands, walk along the track back and forth. Well, that wasn't a big issue in the past, but they moved the opposing bench right in front of that track. Now, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but they switched aside from 2 years ago when I was there. So the opposing team has this track right behind them. And there were a couple of fans. There was a little guy who looked like, I don't know how big Steve Aoki is, but he was like small Steve Aoki. But he wanted to fight every UNLV player. And he's like waving them on behind double barriers. And some of the UNLV players got kind of worked up. And it got to a point where like the cops had to come over. There were 11 Hawaii officials trying to deal with this 5'5", 150-pound guy. But you get my point. Like, it was a distraction that probably didn't need to be a distraction. And in the case of Shador Sanders, you're the potential number one pick in the draft.
Yes.
Bruh, you are a corporation unto your own.
Right. Who do you put that on in Hawaii? I'm curious who you put that on.
I thought the officials were very light. There was a big debate about what to do with the guy. The guy had a tall boy in his hands. He was a little bit sauced. He came up to me later in the game, this guy, and he was like, "Who are you with?" And I said, "None of your business. Get out of my face." No, I didn't say that. I said, "You don't want to know." And I just, because I was like, I didn't want to be like, I'm working with UNLV as a sideline reporter, you know. But the point is, he knew he was getting to him, you know.
Okay.
So once you know, you're trying to get under someone's skin, like the ball boy knocking the ball away. Like they just gave you what you wanted. Coming over, pushing, Bucky Sanders.
When the 2 times of the year that I take the media hat off and I work for Mark Wallington as the sideline marshal, one of the jobs is not only to make sure that the photographers don't go in front of that dotted line and nobody interferes with the cheerleaders and they don't interfere with them, is to make sure that the traffic continues to flow when going back and forth behind the bench. What about the stadium security? Forget the police, because they're second in line. They're not. It's not their job to enforce stadium policy. It has to be stadium. So I get it if that's set up like that, but the second you see that, that's on the stadium.
I think they
personnel to escort immediately.
I think security allowed it on purpose because this guy looks
Yeah,
like the kind of guy who's
absolutely.
at
That's
the
what I'm
games all
saying.
the time.
So it's on them.
And it was working. So, and Utah State has something similar, but it's not fans out of the stands. They built the stands so close to the opposing bench that they're like hanging over the bench to a certain extent, and they ride the players. And it's your job as a player. You got to just walk up to the field and watch the game.
Right.
And in the case of Shedeur Sanders, of all the guys, you got to be a peacemaker.
Well, and it's
a ball boy. The kid looked like he was 15 years old. What are you going to light up a freaking 15-year-old?
He's probably a college kid. But here's the thing. We've seen in the past how ugly things can get involving a UNLV program. And I'm not slamming UNLV, but what I'm saying is you don't want to get in a situation where the fans are getting under your skin. We saw what happened in Reno, right? Media members I remember, what was it? Cassie Soto got bopped in the head with a bottle. So, I mean, when she was with the Review Journal, poor girl, she was just trying to do her job. She gets hit with in the head. Players going in the stands, but whatever it was, fans, fighting. So, yeah, not good. Not good.
It's a big deal for Shedeur Sanders. I know people want to blow this stuff off, but you see the way that these professional talent scout evaluators act with the quarterback. They're going to invest tens of millions of dollars on a high pick in someone. You got to be on your best behavior and mature all the time.
A lot of lawyers who advertise here don't even live here. If they say Nevada, they're not from around here. If they think our capital is Las Vegas, they're not from around here. I'm Richard Harris, and I am from Nevada. I grew up here. I went to school here. I raised my family here. No one knows Nevada like we do. If you've been injured, call me, Richard Harris, of the Richard Harris Law Firm, 444-4444, just in case.
All work and no play makes for one boring-ass week. Kick boredom to the curb with ice-cold beer, signature cocktails, and the best tavern food in town. Voted best happy hour in Las Vegas, there's no better place to be than PT's Taverns. See you for 50% off drinks during happy hour 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. daily. With over 65 locations, there's always a PT's Tavern near you. Visit ptstaverns.com to find your favorite neighborhood tavern.
Personal injury law has been the same for a long time. We've had enough. Welcome to Sam & Ash, the new standard for personal injury law, where things are done the right way. Because you deserve a team that delivers real support and results. When you have both, your whole world can change. So if you've been hurt in a crash, call Sam & Ash, 702-303-0333. Sam & Ash, because you deserve what's right.
Every year, millions of pets go missing, leaving families heartbroken. If you lose or find a pet, Petco Love Lost is here to help. Our free, easy-to-use platform uses photo matching technology across multiple media platforms to bring lost pets home. Just upload a photo and quickly search the largest national lost and found pet database. Let's unite to reunite, because every lost pet deserves to find their way home. Register today at petcolovelost.org.
We interrupt this program for an important announcement from Desert Springs Pools. With Desert Springs Pools, you can go from excavation to plaster in just 10 weeks. So call Desert Springs Pools today. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. License 37573-52987.
Hi, sports fans. It's the Herd. In sports, we often talk about a difference maker. Well, in business, there are difference makers as well. Ford Country in the Valley Auto Mall is one of them. With every new vehicle purchase, you get the Ford Country difference. free dent, scratch, and windshield repair, and key replacement for a full year. In addition to great service and unbeatable pricing, you get game-changing protection exclusively at Ford Country in the Valley Auto Mall. Check them out online at FordCountryHenderson.com.
Now back to Cofield and Company, live from the front yard inside Ellis Island on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
– 17 days until the big day, Turkey Day. I'm going to start flipping up some of the Michael Felder conversations because he's a turkey maniac. So last week was turkey stock and cornbread week, not only for the stuffing, but to, I guess, serve some cornbread. He froze both of them, so he's ready to go there. He's week by week, he makes his progress in the build towards Thanksgiving. He's very serious about it. Very serious.
I have to start getting product for the mac and cheese. Okay, no.
Was that the controversial? I asked you if you know how to make mac and cheese. It was around Thanksgiving.
2 Thanksgivings ago. Yeah.
Oh, it was. All right, we'll have to go find the audio of that. Speaking of audio, I love game-winning calls because I love to see how play-by-plays cover this. My God, if you're a Raiders fan or really just a good American, you hate the Chiefs, and the fact that the Chiefs keep winning and winning and winning and winning, even when they don't play well, they're somewhere between a 7.5 and 9 point favorite against the Broncos. Broncos aren't great. Broncos are giving them a tough time of late. Field goal attempts. Listen to Dave Logan, longtime voice of the Broncos, who, if Denver doesn't do well, he's always very muted. Let's see if we can count the amount of seconds of dead air here.
Snap, placement, kick on the way. It is blocked. I don't even know what to say.
There you go.
13.5.
He's usually very much a mope when things don't go right. On the flip side, God, Mitch Holtis and Kansas City.
Placement is down. What's its kick? It's blocked. It's blocked. It's blocked. They're going to stay undefeated. The Kansas City Chiefs blocked a 35-yard field goal attempt. Kansas City wins this game on a blocked field goal.
Great. Chiefs Radio Network there. Broncos Radio Network before that. Kevin Harlan, who I love, but may reside pretty close to Kansas City. Let's see what the TV call sounded like on the blocked field goal. Broncos Chiefs.
Flip it to win it. Oh! Blocked! The Chiefs have won! The Chiefs have won!
Did you hear, sound guy, vast sound crew?
All good calls.
Did you? 100%. Well, 2 good calls and 1 great 13.5 dead silence. Did you hear Leo Schnell's post-game interview?
No. He was the one who helped blow up Schnell. Blow up. I think it was the left guard. I don't know, man. I also think that guy might have tripped. He freaking destroyed one of the Broncos' offensive linemen. That whole side blew up.
For those people, especially Raiders fans that are listening, they're going, this is the Vegas town. This is the Raiders. Why are you playing Kansas City stuff? Kansas City, we've talked about this every week. This is not an offensive juggernaut any longer. It's a 3-unit team. It's defensively sound.
Complimentary football.
But that's right. Complimentary football. And his post-game media said that they could feel where this game was going. Not necessarily that it was going to come down to a last-second field goal, but in the event, they had talking about it with the, they come off, they have the iPads, everything. Studying previous extra points and field goals, they understood how to react in the event they'd be facing a game-winning field goal, made adjustments on that specific play. Those are the little things that matter. That's why the Kansas City Chiefs are finding ways to win. That is complimentary team football.
Super Bowl week. Should I just prep right now? Trip to New Orleans, Radio Row. Just get ready with lots of Chiefs material and history and Lions material and history.
We need to talk about our preseason stuff because you and I had a long talk about I wasn't going to go with everybody's popular picks. The two teams that I said were going to be in it played last night on Sunday Night Football, just for the record. I was going against the grain, but that's who I picked.
I had Chiefs Rams.